There is a moment that defines your entire life. It is not the moment you succeed. It is not the moment you fail. It is the moment between what happens to you and how you respond. This space is where your freedom lives. This space is where your power lives, and most people never even notice it. They live their entire lives on autopilot. Something happens, they react. Someone speaks, they defend. Something breaks, they rage. Something disappoints, they collapse. They are not living, they are being lived. They are not choosing, they are being controlled. But you can be different. You can train yourself to not overreact. You can train yourself to pause, to breathe, to choose. And in that choice, you reclaim your life. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Epictetus, a man who was born a slave, said something that changed philosophy forever. He said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that. A slave said this. A man who owned nothing. A man who could be beaten at any moment. A man who had no control over his body. And yet, he was freer than the emperor who owned him. Why? Because he understood the one thing that cannot be taken. The space between stimulus and response. Most people think freedom is external. Freedom is money. Freedom is status. Freedom is power. But the Stoics knew the truth. Freedom is internal. Freedom is the ability to not be hijacked by your own emotions. Freedom is the ability to pause when every fiber of your being wants to explode. Freedom is the ability to choose your response when the world demands a reaction. This is not natural. This is trained. This is practiced. This is built. You are not born with this skill. You must develop it. You must strengthen it. You must protect it. Because the world will try to take it from you. The world wants you reactive. The world wants you emotional. The world wants you predictable. A reactive person is easy to manipulate. A reactive person is easy to control. A reactive person is easy to sell to. But a person who does not overreact, that person is dangerous. That person is unpredictable. That person cannot be moved by cheap tricks. That person owns themselves. And that is the most valuable thing you can own in this life. So the question is not whether you should train yourself. The question is whether you are willing to pay the price. Because this training is not comfortable. It requires you to sit with discomfort. It requires you to swallow your pride. It requires you to be quiet when you want to speak. It requires you to be still when you want to move. It requires you to be calm when you want to explode. But the reward is worth it. The reward is peace. The reward is control. The reward is freedom. And it starts with understanding one simple truth. You are not your reactions. You are the observer of your reactions. And that changes everything.
Now let us talk about the how. How do you actually train yourself to not overreact? This is not theory. This is practice. This is daily work. This is the gym for your mind. The first technique is called the pause. When something triggers you, do not respond immediately. Wait. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. It does not matter how long. What matters is that you create space. In that space, your rational mind catches up with your emotional mind. In that space, you remember who you are. In that space, you choose wisely. The second technique is called the view from above. When you feel yourself spiraling, zoom out. Imagine looking at this moment from the ceiling, then from the sky, then from space. How big does this problem look from that distance? How important will it be in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years? Most of what triggers you is temporary. Most of what angers you is trivial. Most of what worries you is imaginary. The view from above reminds you of this. It shrinks the problem. It calms the mind. It restores perspective. The third technique is called the story check. Every time you react, you are reacting to a story you told yourself. Someone did not reply to your message. The story, they do not respect me. Someone criticized your work. The story, I am not good enough. Something did not go as planned. The story, everything is falling apart. But these stories are not facts. They are interpretations. They are guesses. They are often wrong. So check the story. Ask yourself, is this true? Or is this what I am telling myself? You will be shocked at how many times you are reacting to a lie. The fourth technique is called the worst case. When you feel yourself overreacting, Ask, what is the worst that can happen? Really think about it. Will you die? Will you lose your health? Will you lose your loved ones? Most of the time the answer is no. The worst case is manageable. The worst case is survivable. And once you see that, the fear loses its grip. The panic subsides. The overreaction dissolves. The fifth technique is called the delay. Do not make decisions when you are emotional. Do not send that message. Do not have that conversation. Do not quit that job. Wait. Sleep on it. Give yourself 24 hours. Emotions are temporary. Decisions are permanent. Never let the temporary dictate the permanent. These techniques are not magic. They are muscles, and like any muscle, they must be trained. You will fail at first. You will forget to pause. You will react before you think. You will overreact when you promised yourself you would not. Do not beat yourself up. That is another form of overreaction. Anger at yourself for being angry. Frustration at yourself for being frustrated. Instead, acknowledge it, learn from it, reset, and try again. Progress is not perfection. Progress is awareness. Progress is catching yourself sooner. Progress is recovering faster. Progress is overreacting less often than you did before. And slowly, something changes. You become someone different. People notice. They expect you to explode, but you do not. They expect you to crumble, but you remain. They expect you to chase, but you wait. And this confuses them. This disarms them. This gives you power. Because in a world of reactors, the person who responds is king. In a world of chaos, the person who is calm is leader. In a world of noise, the person who is quiet is heard. This is not about becoming cold. This is not about becoming distant. This is about becoming clear, about becoming intentional, about becoming the author of your life instead of a character in someone else's story.
Let me tell you what happens when you master this skill. Your relationships change. You stop fighting over nothing. You stop defending yourself against insults that do not matter. You stop chasing people who do not value you. You create space for relationships that are real, for people who respect you, for connections that deepen instead of drain. Your work changes. You stop making decisions from panic. You stop quitting when things get hard. You stop letting criticism derail you. You become the person who can handle pressure, the person who can think clearly in crisis, the person who gets promoted not because they are the loudest, but because they are the most reliable. Your health changes. Chronic stress damages your body. Overreaction keeps you in fight or flight. It raises your cortisol. It weakens your immune system. It ages you faster. But when you learn to not overreact, your body relaxes. Your mind settles. Your health improves. You sleep better. You think clearer. You live longer. Your self-respect changes. Every time you do not overreact, you prove something to yourself. You prove that you are in control. You prove that you keep your promises. You prove that you are becoming who you said you would become. And this builds confidence. Not the fake confidence of arrogance, but the real confidence of self-trust. There will be days when it is hard, days when the trigger is strong, days when the pain is real, days when you want to react more than you have ever wanted anything. On those days, remember this. You are not fighting the trigger. You are fighting for your freedom. You are not suppressing emotion. You are choosing response. You are not being passive. You are being strategic. And remember Zeno. Remember Epictetus. Remember Marcus Aurelius. They faced things worse than you will ever face. Exile, betrayal, war, loss. And they did not overreact. They did not collapse. They did not become bitter. They became wise. They became strong. They became legends. You can do the same. You do not need to be a philosopher. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to practice. One pause at a time. One breath at a time. One choice at a time. The world will not change. People will still be rude. Things will still go wrong. Life will still be unpredictable. But you will change. And when you change, your world changes with you. So start today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, today. The next time something triggers you, pause. The next time you want to send that angry message, wait. The next time you feel yourself spiraling, breathe. Small wins compound. Small choices build character. Character builds destiny. You are building something greater than yourself. You are building a legacy of calm. You are building a reputation of stability. You are building a life where peace is the default. Do not let the world decide how you feel. Do not let people decide how you respond. Do not let circumstances decide your worth. You decide. You choose. You control. This is your life. This is your mind. This is your power. And no one can take it from you unless you give it to them. So do not give it away. Keep it. Guard it. Protect it. Train it. Strengthen it. Use it. Welcome to the life of someone who does not overreact. Welcome to peace. Welcome to power. Welcome to freedom. The training starts now. The choice is yours. Make it count.